Have you ever wondered why so many countries are suddenly pushing back against China? From the South China Sea to Africa, from Europe to the Indo-Pacific, nations that once welcomed Beijing's investments are now rethinking their strategies. Something has changed, but what? Over the past 2 decades, China has expanded its global footprint faster than any other nation. Through its Belt and Road Initiative, China poured billions into infrastructure projects across Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Roads, ports, railways, promises of progress and partnership. In return, Beijing gained access to critical resources, political influence, and strategic control. But the glittering promises often came with hidden costs. Let's start with Southeast Asia. In the South China Sea, China's construction of artificial islands and militarization of disputed waters has alarmed neighboring countries like the Philippines and Vietnam. Despite international rulings, China continues to assert its expansive claims. The result? A growing military presence by the US and its allies in the region, more joint exercises, and renewed defense partnerships. Even ASEAN members that were once quiet are now speaking up. In Africa, the story is more economic, but no less dramatic. Countries such as Kenya and Zambia once embraced Chinese loans for massive infrastructure projects. But when the debts came due, some found themselves trapped. Infrastructure left unfinished. Economies burdened. Now, nations like Ghana and Angola are turning to the IMF and World Bank again, trying to rebalance from what some call debt diplomacy. There's a growing skepticism. Is this really partnership or dependence? Europe, too, is waking up. Italy was the only G7 country to sign on to the Belt and Road Initiative. But in 2023, it pulled out. Why? Italian leaders cited unmet promises and political discomfort with China's growing influence. Meanwhile, across Europe, Chinese investments in ports, telecommunications, and technology firms are facing increasing scrutiny. National security reviews, public protests, and calls for economic de-risking are becoming common. And then there's the Indo-Pacific strategy led by the US, Japan, Australia, and India, commonly known as the Quad. These countries are investing in alternatives to Chinese-led infrastructure. They're promoting transparent, sustainable projects with less political baggage. In short, they're giving developing nations another option, a counterbalance. Even within China's closest partners, the cracks are showing. Pakistan, a key ally and beneficiary of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, is facing internal backlash. Security issues, delays, and local resentment are growing. What started as enthusiasm is now shifting towards skepticism. So, what's really driving the global pushback? It's not just geopolitics, it's trust. Nations are realizing that influence without transparency can become control, that loans without sustainability can become chains, and that expansion without respect can ignite resistance. The world isn't rejecting China, it's demanding a different kind of engagement, one built on mutual benefit, not strategic leverage. As this global recalibration unfolds, one thing is clear. The era of unchecked Chinese expansion is facing serious resistance, and how Beijing adapts, or doesn't, will shape the future of global power dynamics for decades to come. If you found this perspective valuable, don't just scroll past. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into global issues that shape our world. And hey, leave a comment. Where do you think this pushback is heading? Let's keep the conversation going.